Hey everybody, this is Grace and I'm going out. It's only 7:41, but it gets dark around 5 something, maybe 6. Yeah, until how many days? Around close to 10. Today's December 11th. But then it gets started getting longer slowly. Anyway, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Adam can't eat today. He has 2 procedures tomorrow, so I'm going to take him. And then tomorrow, while he's in there, I'm thinking I'll go and do some deliveries because it's on the way in another city. I used to live out there, so we'll see how that goes. I might not do anything. Hopefully, it won't take too many hours altogether, because like I said, problem with my feet and all, but it's been really great lately. Anyway, I was thinking, I went out Monday. We were going to go shopping, and I said, let's try doing this. When we go out, just go do at least one delivery. You'll see how it goes, because it's holidays and all that. And went out Monday, and the offers they were given, oh my goodness, I mean, very few, but $2.44 to go get somebody's food and deliver it. $2.44 for like 6 miles, 7 miles, stuff like that. That's just one way. Yeah, not happening. And I didn't take any of the offers. Some of them were a little bit better, like $4. You see. Yeah, for, quite a bit of miles. People say that the best thing is, how is it, $2 per mile? Or the goal is more like $2 per mile. Yeah, right. And I don't know why it's gotten so bad. I know during the summer it was all those fleet people, and other people out for summer, and even before that was the fleet people. Like I said, I've seen twice those cars, sedans that they would drive were just abandoned. Boy, that came out country. So, anyway, it's been a while since I drove in the dark, I don't want to do any more deliveries in the dark. No, people lose their minds. It's bad enough during the day, but at nighttime, oh man. So, yeah. But other than that, I really haven't done much deliveries. I've been having this craziest backache. I don't know why. It was like it was on one shoulder, my right shoulder. I thought, okay, it might be me. Sitting in my desk now for some reason, the chair. We've been needing a new chair. We checked out chairs, and I'm like, these are not good. And yeah, what were they doing? the seat to them, like where you sit down in your lap, it would cover, like, the seat wouldn't be long enough. They, like, shrinkflation hit that too. They shrunk the chair, the seat part. So my lap was like not really even. I'm a tall woman. He's tall as I am, and he was gonna get one. I was gonna get one. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I don't know. They definitely weren't comfortable, and they had displays, and you could sit in them, try them out. Those are bad. So, and I thought that might be it. And, getting old is not for wimps. Definitely. I mean, there's an ache and a pain and a whatever. But anyway, that was on the right, side, like in the middle of where the shoulder is. And then it seemed like it was in the middle. This is over, like, weeks. I have an appointment soon to go to the doctor. And, but it went, then it stopped. And I was like, okay. But then it went like to the middle, and then now it feels like more like in the chest, in between, in the middle of it. It's like, what the heck? Adam used to tell me when he was my age, he's a little bit older than I, and I would doubt him in my mind. I wouldn't tell him, but he would say, I have this roaming pain. It starts on this leg and it goes to this, and I've been experiencing that for what, like a year or so now. And of course, it could just be you like if it's in your knee, your right knee, you might lean more on your left knee. So when the right knee feels better, the left knee is gonna hurt. That kind of thing. Yeah, that's the way I explain stuff. But there's always an explanation. But I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. So anyway, I'm gonna get something to eat. And I got sick again the other day. Food poisoning. When was it? A week or so ago. Food poisoning is a norm for me. It seems like. And now I'm, when I was in the hospital this summer, I was in 2 days, one night. They told me to start taking probiotics. And they said that would relieve my problem quite a bit. Well, I did a while, while I was on those antibiotics, and then I stopped. And it's been kind of hit or miss since then. More miss than hit, of me taking them. And then I thought, maybe I need to just do it, take them. Just take them and not... I always thought it was kind of a joke, and I'm not a healthcare provider, so don't listen to me. They told me to do it. I said, okay. But hopefully, and I worry about getting food. Why did I get food poisoning? I don't know. It could have been I ate a salad for lunch. Adam said it was hamburger meat it was fresh. But then I had it in the refrigerator for a couple of days, and I put it in the freezer. Well, I don't do that. Usually I come home from grocery store or have it delivered, and I put it right then in the freezer. But I don't know. He said that it was the hamburger. He tried. He said I couldn't eat it. It seemed spoiled. Okay. But yeah, it wasn't good. You didn't care to hear that, did you? But care to hear about it. I should say that. Oh my goodness. But it's it's just ridiculous. Why am I continue to constantly get food poisoning? And I worry I'm going to die from it one day. And I'm very particular, very clean person. When I cook, and I don't know, I've gotten sick from eating at restaurants before. So, but they say people with immune problems, and I have a rare health condition. I've had it since I was a child. And yeah, it could be that. So, I don't know. I didn't want to go this way because, yeah. Anyway, this is kind of rambling just about this stuff. But I went out earlier today, and I was trying to make a video, and my goodness, the pollen finally, all year long since I can remember, so maybe even sometime last year, the pollen was very high. That's how they did. Very high, and then I think it's low. I don't know if there's one in between. And I just missed my, oh, there it is, entrance. But, I went behind the buildings. Woo-wee-oo. Oh, it is dark back here. Nothing unusual. Anyway, but yeah. Okay, I'm not that close, but it's just zoomed in. But yeah, I went out and I kept having sneezing. I'm like, what the crap, Well, okay, you're really not gonna like this one. Yeah, more gross stuff. Fair warning, gross stuff. But my nose just started bleeding. Yikes. Yeah. It does that in the, when it's cold outside and the heater is on, it does that. Okay, when the it's too warm, and it was on 68, And I've been leaving at 67 or 66. 67 to 64. 64 overnight. I'm like, great. I was just thinking that today. Turned it up to 68 because it was kind of cold. It was freezing last night. The wind chill was in the like 24, 25. So, we have central heat. So that was not good. But it does this kind of thing. And it's kind of scary too, because if my blood pressure is high, my nose will bleed really bad. And, okay, don't drop it, don't drop it. Y'all don't see what I'm seeing. I'm watching her take meat out of the, whatever, I don't know what it is, heating area. But it's hopefully it won't get really bad before I get home, because it can get really bad. It's a lot of gross stuff, blood clots, whatever. Yeah, that's not good. I've had that all my life. When I was a kid, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, my mother and I were going to the elementary school, walking up, and I was, skipping like little girls do, just skipping, and then I tripped and fell and hit my nose on the concrete, and they had to take me to the hospital, and they used back then silver nitrate. I don't know if they still do, but every few years I would have to have my nose cauterized. Is that what it is? I try to say it right, but in the past, when I was young, I would have to do that. But then when I got on blood pressure medication, I don't know how long ago that was, probably in my 20s or 30s, I stopped having to have it. I think it was in my 20s, and then that problem would not happen again. But having it cauterized was not a good thing. I think it was silver nitrate, I do believe, because what happened as a child, it would every once in a while, if my blood, I think it was, I'm not a healthcare provider, so don't listen to me. And what works for me, because my rare health condition, what happens to me works for me, and all that, might not anybody else. But yeah, that was, they had to do that so ever so often. I think that it was always when I was young, and they didn't have me on blood pressure medication, and it was my blood pressure that caused it to happen. And yeah, this is taking a while. Might as well just get comfortable. Oh my. Okay. Well, this isn't what I wanted to talk about, but hey. But I remember, I don't know how old I was then. Maybe I was in my 30s the last time it happened. But I was on a job, okay, and I was a career student, and, like over 20 years. And I would take classes to work odd jobs and all that stuff. I had a lot going on back then. And I took a job, and it was through a temporary agency, but they needed, I was one to do medical billing, and I did a lot of things. But medical billing, I was the good person. I fought the insurance companies. Make them pay, and none of the crap. Okay, that might not be a good thing to talk about right now. Where was I? But I was working at that job. I really don't know how old I was. I could have been 40. Shoot. But no, I would think I was in my 30s. I don't know. Anyway, they hired me and another woman, and we had just our office to ourselves. I didn't know her, she didn't know me, and we didn't know that what we were going to be doing was to correct the problems of the women who worked there. Seriously. And the women who worked there, where they worked, their office, at least one section of them, was where the fax, the copier was. And we had to make a lot of copies. And it was very tight in there. And so when we came in, these women already hated us because our jobs were to find their faults. Yeah. We didn't know that when we got hired. But our job was to find the faults of what they were doing and why they didn't get the bills paid or whatever. why there was a problem. And man, and the stuff that they did, it was so strange. Yeah, it was a problem. Okay, I don't like it when people call me my dear, or sugar, honey. No, I'm not your sugar, I'm not your honey, I'm not your dear. I know, that's me being mean. But no, I don't like it. I do not like it. Anyway, I have good reasons for that. Anyway, I worked at this place, okay, like I was saying, and it was so stressful because every time we went into the office, if the manager, I mean, he was a special manager or something, was sitting in there, and he was a young guy, very green, naive, and if he wasn't in there, these women would be unbelievably rude to us, either one of us. So it wasn't them picking on me or her, but because, and we didn't know that at first, that was the job, and that's who we were going to correct their mistakes, point them out to them. Did not know it. Like I said, I've always said we didn't know it, but we didn't know it as we were working either. As we were doing the work, for a while we did not know it. That's what we were doing. And it was them, that's the point I'm making, is them. We were correcting their mistakes. We didn't know that. While we had been doing it, a lot of it. And finally we figured it out, why they were so mean. No, they were wrong. That's not what you do. You don't take it out on you made the mistake, so own them. But I didn't like the job, and she, the woman, I think she wound up just saying no. And she was younger than I, and I was ready to leave too, because it was ridiculous. You go to work and you're working in a hostile working environment, because they made mistakes and we have to point them out. I don't like that. But anyway, so the last day that I was there, I decided this is it. It was ridiculous. And like I said, I think she quit. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden my nose started bleeding, and I'm talking really bad bleeding. And I was not prepared for that to happen or anything like that. I wouldn't think that. And so I had to leave, and the agency, they found out what happened, and it was rush hour traffic, and I had to drive home in rush hour traffic with my nose not stopping, and I couldn't get out. I saw a church. I was going to go to one church. I think I actually stopped, and the doors were locked. So I didn't have a cell phone, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I think I did, and I called 911 and asked them, what should I do? So I think I did have a cell phone. Yeah, well, I did. I had a call. But I wanted to just pull over. The traffic was so bad, nobody was letting me pull over. It was horrible, and my nose was bleeding and all this, and I've had them since I was a child, so I knew what to do, but still would not stop. Oh man! And then I never returned to that job. But the woman that it was her agency. She had her own agency. She was afraid I was going to sue them. The job was too stressful, and I let her know. I said, this was ridiculous. What we were to do. Nobody telling us this was the situation, because the situation all around was bad. You're going to put two people in who are going to be tattletelling, and they don't even know it, with a bunch of crazy, not a good thing, not a good scene all around. Okay, anyway, I feel like a little bit of, I have tissue paper right here. I always have tissue paper with me. Kleenex, like we call it. It is Kleenex, literally. The brand. Anyway, I'm just surprised that this happened, but I was telling Adam, he's been saying today, it's been too cold, but he's having to fast Well, that was fast, wasn't it? Wow. The light turned yellow so fast. But, he can't eat today. He's older than I am. I said, I don't know. I don't know why he was so cold. I said, maybe because you're not eating something. I don't know. I don't think that's true, but I don't know. I'm not a healthcare person, but he's been cold. I'm cold. He's standing in front of a space heater, one of those, kind of wide ones. And I think he got it at Costco years ago. He's standing in front of it wearing sweats and I think something underneath, like a t-shirt or whatever it is. And he's saying he's cold. So he may have turned it up, or maybe I did. But I know I have a limit. And it's kind of low, because I've been worried that the pain that, how many of us have ever heard of pleurisy? I had him look that up the other day, but I remember having it as a child because we didn't have heaters. We didn't have central air until I was a teenager. I was in high school, I think. Central air heat. And we had space heater. We had gas heaters, those old-fashioned ones. And our bedrooms did not have them, and I'm surprised I lived through childhood. I made it through childhood. But they would turn the heaters off at night. I'm serious. It was in Texas. And I haven't experienced that, but I had pleurisy at least once when I was young. And Adam looked it up recently, and he said he had never even heard of that. And I'm worried that, I don't know for a fact any of this. So don't take my word on it. I'm worried but it's in the middle instead of the side. I remember being on the side. I couldn't be remembering wrong, but it's not now. There had to be, it wasn't a Bubba truck, but it was a what do you call it? An SUV right on my tail, What the crap? Usually people are home by now. It's 8:11. Because when I did deliveries by the way, I'm doing the deliveries for health insurance. And if I mentioned it in any video, I talk about that. I live in Texas. Need I say more? But anyway, haven't been doing much of it, like I said earlier in this video, because it's been one thing after another. The health condition, and and I told Adam, I started doing this last year, and I told Adam, I said, if I believed in signs, like, hey, it's trying to tell you something, I would definitely not be doing this, seriously, because every time I turned around, there was something new. Even being admitted in the hospital 2 days, and I had to go back 2 days. It was 2 days and one night, and had to return 2 days later. Craziest stuff, just crazy stuff. Had nothing to do with delivering, but actually it did, because in a way I couldn't do that kind of work because of the problem itself. And I'm doing it for the health insurance. I wanted to pay for the health insurance, by the way, straight out. But they said, no, you can't do that. Oh my goodness. It's just, so it's not about the money, it's that you have to prove to the government. And I'm like, I just want to pay for it. I just want to get affordable health care. And not go through all that. There's so much more attached to it, and I'm not an expert on why they do it this way. But anyway, I'm wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.